Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Huncho, back at you again with another video. So I've got two stories for you guys coming up, and if you want to see this kind of format in the future where we discuss 2 or 3 smaller news stories, let me know down in the comment section below, because I do always see these smaller stories floating around and they are good to share with you guys, but they're not always big enough to fill a video, so sometimes I just leave doing it. Now moving forward, I'm thinking about merging 2 or 3 smaller stories together so you guys are able to get the news. But again, let me know down in the comments if this format is something you guys want to see in the future. So the first story we're about to get into takes place in Newbury, and police have now launched a murder investigation after a 1-month-old boy died following an incident at a property. Initially, police were called to the scene in Fountain Gardens, Ashford Court, by South Central Ambulance Service at around 1:50 AM on the 9th of May 2020, where the ambulance service were responding to reports that the boy was in cardiac arrest, and he was then taken to hospital for treatment but later had sadly died. The baby has been formally identified as Colby Stroud, who was born only on the 10th of April 2020, literally last month. And after a post-mortem examination was carried out yesterday, the cause of death is currently unknown. Due to the suspicious cause of death, today a 26-year-old man and a 24-year-old woman, both from Newbury, thought to be the parents, have been arrested on suspicion of murder in connection with this investigation, and they are currently in police custody. Senior Investigating Officer Detective Chief Inspector Stuart Blake of the Thames Valley Police Major Crime Unit said, "This is a tragic and distressing incident, and I understand that this news will cause a great deal of concern and upset in the community. I would like to reassure people that we are carrying out a full and thorough investigation, and we have arrested 2 people in connection with Colby's death, and they are currently in police custody. Members of the public may have seen a police presence in and around Ashford Court since Saturday, and I would encourage anyone with any questions or particular concerns to speak to our officers." So again, the baby's cause of death is currently unknown, but if the police have arrested them on murder charges, it's probably looking as if the 2 adults, again thought to be the parents, have gone on to murder their child. Now, as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I recently reported on the story where a 1 and 3-year-old were allegedly murdered by their father, which he's now actually gone on to be charged with, and again the circumstances surrounding their deaths is currently a mystery, although thought to be a burst of anger because of the coronavirus pandemic. And again, I'm just hoping that this isn't the same case in where maybe the parents have had an argument because of the pandemic and now the child has sadly gone on to lose their life because of a burst of anger. But again, that is just my speculation. But I just don't understand how these children keep getting murdered, because if you also remember, not too long ago we covered the tragic death of Emily Jones, where a random woman had attacked her in a park and stabbed her to death. I just don't get how these fully grown adults have it in them to murder an innocent child. I really don't. But if there is any further updates to this murder in Newbury, as always, I'll keep you guys updated. So that moves us on to our slightly bigger story, in where now a murder inquiry has been opened after a human torso was found in a suitcase after a couple were stopped by police on the English-Welsh border. It's understood that the pair, which included a woman in her 20s from Birmingham and a man in his 30s from Wolverhampton, had been seen walking along a road near Colford, Gloucestershire at around 11:30 PM on the 12th of May 2020, when a passing police officer became suspicious of them and stopped to ask what was in the case. Upon finding the torso inside the case, the pair were arrested on suspicion of murder, and since then it's now being reported that other body parts have been scattered in the surrounding area of Forest of Dean. It's not clear where the suspected remains were found, but police sealed off a large area and 3 tents were erected at the entrance of Stowfield Quarry. A huge police cordon still remains in place today while the search continues. Within the cordon also contained a fishery, a former sawmill, which now contains storage units, several houses and a campsite. Also, roads in the surrounding area were also closed off. Today, Gloucestershire Police were granted a 36-hour magistrate's extension on top of a 12-hour extension previously approved to continue questioning the 2 suspects. The police force went on to say that forensic testing is ongoing to establish the identity of the victim, as a post-mortem examination is also taking place. Now, as it currently stands, the latest on this again is that the police are still questioning the pair and they haven't actually been charged with any charges. But again, if there is any further updates to this situation, as always, I'll let you guys know. Of course, as you guys know, we're currently on lockdown, and although it's been eased slightly, it's pretty much still in place. Now what's interesting is that the locals and people trying to get into Wales had thought that the roads had been locked off from people actually travelling into Wales because of obviously the COVID-19 lockdown. How much of a headfuck that must have been. Imagine you're driving towards Wales and then you're hit with a roadblock and thinking, wow, I can't even get into Wales now because of COVID-19, after being told on TV that Boris Johnson had announced that lockdown was easing up. But again, these people haven't been charged, but you can see why police are a little bit suspicious, because after stopping them and finding out they're from Birmingham and Wolverhampton, they end up having a human torso inside the case. And again, they've come all that way from Birmingham and Wolverhampton, and it is a few hours drive to actually get to the border of Wales and England from the West Midlands, so you can see why police are a little bit suspicious there. But this case is a lot like the Shah case that I covered a few months back, where he went missing for months and finally his body was scattered in a random forest miles from where he was last seen. And it does look like that this would have probably been the same case had the police not intercepted them. But again, as it currently stands, they haven't been charged with anything, so we shouldn't jump to conclusions and we should let the police do their investigation and we'll see what happens moving forward. But if you like this format of video where we do 2, 3, 4 stories in a video, smaller stories, let me know if you guys want to see that format down in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. Give the video a little like, and if you want the latest drill, street and music news out of the UK, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your boy Huncho, and I'm out.